Hello YouTube, I'm Baby Prepper and today we are going to talk about emergency bags. But where do I begin? Is a good question. First, you need to define exactly what kind of emergency situation are you preparing for. And two, you need to consider your environment, the climate, as this will have a huge impact on the suitable equipment that you should put in your backpack. Like for me, I live in a tropical country. It's always hot. It's always summer here. Then I don't have to pack a lot of warmers. For the backpack, I highly recommend hiking backpacks. They're the most comfortable ones out there. Tactical packs are also okay if you're comfortable with them. Some people are not. And at the very least, at least follow that your backpack and its contents does not exceed 20% of your total body weight to avoid bringing something that's too heavy for you. And also other things to consider: great padding, shoulder padding. This will give you better comfort. Not sure if you're a fan of these. I am a huge fan of these things. I carry a lot of backpacks and this one helps distribute the weight from your shoulder to your body so that it feels lighter, or yeah, it kind of feels lighter. And also, if you're carrying something so heavy, might also consider something with hip support. I will buy a strap and I will put it here, and then you can put it there. And again, it will help reduce the weight from your shoulder and distribute it, as the hips will help carry the load for you. Some other backpack features, add-ons that you may also appreciate is like this pack. It has side release buckle so that if, for instance, my pack is caught somewhere and I need to run, I can just release the packs here, and then I can go. The first C in my backpack is for cover. Cover is the one that you will use to protect yourself from the environment. The first cover that you have on you is your clothing, personal clothing. So here we have the most important one is for air. You cannot survive more than 3 minutes in general, maybe depends on the person, without good air supply. If you think that respirator masks are needed, depending on what you perceive a survival situation, but for me the N95 will be sufficient in most cases. And then I have here these safety goggles. I've tried this on because I'm wearing prescription lenses. I put it on top of my lenses and it still fits well, so that's very good. You have to check on that also. And I have here sleeves. This is for protection from the sun to avoid skin burn. As I mentioned earlier, I live in a tropical country. It's always hot, so the wearing of long sleeves every day or in general is not really recommended, as you may get hypothermia. But if it's really hot and you want to protect your arm, what I do is I wear short sleeves as a shirt and then I just put it here, so at least you have a breather on this side. You have a breather as the air can freely flow there, and then you just put this on your arm. Gloves, you may get better gloves from Ansel or Mechanics. These are very cheap gloves that I got from the market. I've used this many times in some hikes and some works around the house. They're very grippy. They're in general very comfortable and they fit my hand well. So make sure that whatever PPE you have check that they fit you very well. And then a hat. Again, it's hot in my country. I use this so that my head doesn't feel so hot. And lastly, this is a poncho, protection from rain. If you can carry an umbrella with you, in my country I recommend that I carry an umbrella with me, just a very lightweight. And here is just some spare clothes, spare socks and towels. If I ever get wet, I need to dry myself up so that I don't catch colds. So that's the basic ones in my pack. I lost an emergency blanket. Get an emergency blanket. I will get an emergency blanket as well. In addition to what I already mentioned, you can also add tarps. This will be the lightweight tarps that you can use as tents, covering for the ground. You can use it as alternative sleeping bags. But if you have the budget, you can also buy actual sleeping bags or BV bags, and also you can buy tents. It depends, but you get the picture. Next in the 5 C's of survival is container. Container for your water. In general, you cannot live more than 3 days without water, so you need plenty of water. And you need 2 liters of water a day for drinking. And if you have sufficient water source with you, another 2 liters for other things. So at minimum, maybe 4 liters, sorry. The best way to purify water when you run out from your pack is to boil it. So maybe bring something where you can boil your water. Stainless steel and titanium are very good choices. Aluminum you may also use. I don't like aluminum. If boiling is not an option, you may use one of these straws. It's very direct. You just open here and then you open here. Dip this under the water, suck from this side, and off you go. And then but the disadvantage of this is not really for sharing. I mean, if you're comfortable sharing your saliva with someone else, depending on who you are with, then it's all right. But if not, another good choice is the Sawyer Mini. You have this squeeze pouch. You fill this with dirty water, screw here, and then open here, and then you press, and then the clean water will flow through, and then you can just have a receiving vessel at the other end, and you can share your water. So it's better. Or you can also get the squeeze and many others. The disadvantage of these things is that they can filter bacteria but not virus and not heavy metals. So if you have this, maybe you can combine it with activated carbon, or you can buy, there are other brands now that have, even Sawyer has one new that has the virus and heavy metal filtration, including industrial pesticide filtration capacity. So many choices out there. And also I put cups. I just got this for free. It's better if you can get collapsible ones. But for now, my bag is still quite spacious, so I just leave it there. The third C in my pack that I will show you is combustion. So I have 3 ways to start a fire in my kit. So 1, we have a big lighter here, it's very direct. 2, we have ferrocerium rods, and I just put some cotton for tinder. You can use more cotton balls, or you can buy those tinder quick tabs or whatever waxes. It's on you. And also you can put petroleum jelly on this one so that it will burn faster. And this one is a magnifying glass. Next we move on to the 4th C. My 4th C rather. Cutting tool. This is very controversial among preppers and survivalists out there. They are always choosing which is the best. This is better, this is better. I just chose the Bear Grylls. It has a whistle here, ferrocerium rod over there, so you have a backup. Half serrated. A lot of people don't like those serrations, but I find them because the situation, they may not always be in the woods, it can be in the urban environment, so it will be useful. And it has its own sharpener at the back, and I like that it has a pommel. I've used this. And for the multi-tool, again, very controversial again, which is the best, I end up choosing the Victorinox Swiss tool. Why? Because again, I live in a country that's relatively humid. Leatherman's rust on me. So sorry, Leatherman, but yeah, I took that into consideration. I like Leatherman, but I took that into consideration. Victorinox rarely rusts on me. The one hand opening is not a big deal for me. As you can see, I can open them pretty well, and it's not very big deal for me. And I like that all the tools are accessible from the outside, and for me this one has the most set of tools in its package. I mean, it's the only one with a dedicated where is the chisel right here. It's the only tool out there with a dedicated chisel on it, and the way that it is positioned, you can hammer it down right here if you need it. And also it has a very big pry bar here. Oh, not pry bar, very big screwdriver that they say you can use as a light duty pry bar. So I took those things into consideration, and basically just get a multi-tool that's good. Don't cheap out on your water filtration, and maybe don't cheap out on your multi-tool. Yeah. The fifth C on the 5 C's of survival is the cordage. So I have here a paracord, 100 feet, 550 pound is commercial grade paracord. See that, 7 strand. So if you're not familiar with paracord, you can just Google it. It's good. It's lighter than those those other cables. I can't remember what's called. And of course, duct tape. Duct tape is, you can forget about the cords. Don't forget to bring duct tape. Duct tape you can use for easy fixing something on your pack. Needs easy fix, you just put duct tape. You need some strings, you cut some length of duct tape and then roll it into small pieces, maybe intertwine them like that, and then you have another set of string. Duct tape is very important. Never forget to bring a roll of duct tape. So now that we are through with the 5 basic C's of survival, we now go on to the other contents of my pack, which I denoted as C's also for my easy recall. First, we go to call for help. Basically, these are just the items that you may use to call attention of rescuers. These are high decibel whistles and a signal mirror. Signal mirror, you have to practice how to use this. It's not easy to aim. I've tried it. This one is not call for help material. This is just a USB where you can keep the soft copy of your important documents, pictures, and whatnot. Next is the candela, basically for light. This one is a solar powered lamp. Has 3 settings: low, high, and signaling. The good thing about this, it's water resistant. If you inflate it, it also floats on water. And if you can put a carabiner here, you can hang it and charge it by hanging it outside your pack, and then you walk, and if it's sunny, like in my place it's sunny, it'll charge. Then we have here a flashlight, which is the standard AA batteries. And speaking of AA batteries, we have here Antelope Pros. These will not last so long. This can, the batteries won't, but the pack is designed to last for 3 days or 1 week of bugging out. So that's the idea for this pack. I think this can last more than a week. These antelopes don't drain very easily. Next is another C, compass and maps. I don't have a map here, but I do have this Sunto clipper. Basically, I'm familiar with the place, but if you have your phone with you and you have power banks, you can charge them. You can use the GPS. There are offline maps readily available right now. You just need a device to charge. If you have solar power banks, that will be very helpful. And for communication, this is quite big. This is old, and I got this long ago. This is a radio, just to be updated with the news if the internet is down, which just happened last storm. And then the next is care products. This one, I would like to say, is that I have seen many sets of packs with big bags. Sometimes they have 3-4 knives all ready to go, chop woods, but they don't give much attention to their first aid kit. The first aid kit sometimes is this big, like not even half the size of this one. My suggestion is make it really useful. Put significant items in it. Like for here, what I put, you have some burn ointments. You can put antifungal creams, topical antibiotics if you're also good with that, like Bactroban. Some alcohol. Some people don't recommend that one, but at least have povidone with you. It's got scissors, medical tapes, cottons, great bandages, not just those disposable looking bandages. These are Red Cross bandages. Have here a CPR mask as well, face shield, and then tourniquet. Don't use the tourniquet if you are not trained to do so. Have here several gauze pads, tongue depressors, and this one is a guide, first aid guide, to remind you of what to do even if you already had training, because I had Red Cross training 3 times, but in an actual situation and like there's heavy bleeding or something really serious injury is going on, you might panic, and even if you are trained, you can just black out, space out. So my suggestion is to put in your first aid kit like a guide to remind you of what to do in case of panic. If you are in the medical field, then good. Maybe you don't have to worry about it. But for me, I'm not in a medical field. This will come in handy just in case. Next item is my bath kit. It's simple. It's just got all my soap, shampoo, toothbrush, basic items that when you go out. You can also put your extra clothes, but I intend to put mine in a separate bag. It depends on you. If you only want to carry just one piece of bag, then you can add some. Maybe just limit the amount. You don't want all your clothes taking up space for other items. And then here I have just other containers, waterproof items. You can use this as additional containers. These are for your phones, gadgets, money, and if you ever are going to water, swimming, so you have that. And miscellaneous, pen for writing if you need to take down notes on something. And these are all-weather, basically waterproof notepads. Sewing kit if you ever need to repair some things. This one is a blind spot mirror. May not need it, you may want to remove it. I think it can be useful. And this one is a very cute tape measure. Fishing kit. I don't know how to fish. I'm not sure if this will come in handy, but either way, there's no harm done. You can remove it if you don't want. There's a Leatherman squirt there also. And since I have a blade, I have sharpener. And this is the one with the rod, because I have a serrated blade. And lastly is a bicycle card. You can use this to have fun. So what do you think is also not here that should be is food? I haven't stocked up on food yet, but it's good to bring like Mountain House, those things in packs, or MREs, You can also go with canned goods, but they are heavy to put in the pack, so it's up to you. And maybe put in some candies and biscuits so that you are all loaded and energized. And again, depending on the situation, remove what may not be necessary so you can put better items. Like for myself, I have a fixed blade knife that I intend to just remove from my pack if the situation does not, does not need it. I can go with my pack if I get caught by an officer. The how do I say this, knife laws in my country is not that good. You get caught having that fixed blade and you don't have a very good reason, you can go to jail. Actually, I'm not sure if jail, or maybe you'll get fined or something, but it's not gonna be pleasant. So consider these things when you're trying to build your pack. So that's it for my pack. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.